parallel between Daenerys and the Dothraki and Paul and the Fremen. But some fans have fought against this parallel. So we're going to listen to Anomaly Inc., who's a very strong defender of the prequels, reacting to Jeremy Jahns, who outlines the kind of Anakin Daenerys theory.
Was really like Anakin. Anakin goes from, I'm gonna turn you over to the Jedi Council, Chancellor. 15 minutes later, yeah, I guess I will kill kids.
And you're wondering why I made this video. I'm not going to repeat myself here, but Jeremy is a known prequel hater. He's got an agenda, and well, prequel haters tend not to provide nuance. Seriously, I spent an arseload of time going over the differences between the characters and Anakin's motivation. And Jeremy sums it all up literally in 5 seconds, painting a massive false equivalence for his vast audience. I guess off-screen is a prequel hater's best friend as well, not just Dumb and Dumbers.
With Game of Thrones, we go from Sir Davos being like, what if Westeros was ruled by a good woman and a good man? Oh yeah, she's good, and she looks like she's, I guess I will kill kids. Well, that was abrupt. About as abrupt as Anakin's turn.
Again, Anakin's turn wasn't abrupt. They developed this over 3 movies. They planted the seeds in The Phantom Menace, expanded upon all of the plot threads in Attack of the Clones, and providing a precedence for Anakin's dark nature and frame of mind, and his motivation.
Anomaly has done a lot of good work in clearing up some myths and even lies about the prequels. However, I actually do agree with Jahns here. I do think the prequels overall are strong, but my own scale would be Phantom Menace was really great. Attack of the Clones was very good. It has a lot of issues, but still very good. But Revenge of the Sith has way too many problems, whether in terms of editing, plot, mise-en-scène, themes, music, you go through the list. It's just too troublesome to say that this is just a great film. It has too many issues. However, I am open-minded, and I am very eagerly awaiting several essays that are going to re-examine Revenge of the Sith. But again, it's not just Jahns. Even people on the EFAP have also been critical of how rapidly Anakin turned in Revenge of the Sith, going from, yes, an anti-hero, but then to siding with the Sith and destroying the Jedi. And is it as abrupt as Daenerys? Well, again, with Daenerys, we did get a little bit of foreshadowing, so I don't believe people who say that this came out of nowhere, but I do agree with people that the way it was written was still very childish and stupid, and the kind of politics they tried to insert was fairly over the top, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But nevertheless, if you go back through photos, it is pretty astonishing how camera angles, the way people are photographed, and even the dialogue does in fact kind of mirror what is going on with Revenge of the Sith. So I'm going to have to disagree with Anomaly. I do think there is a basis for the parallel. Now, we can look at this 2 ways. One is that maybe this makes Season 8 better because it's on par with the prequels. So if you're pro-prequel, this might make Season 8 a lot better. But I'm going to go in the other direction. It makes it a lot worse because if Benioff and Weiss already had a model, which apparently they did with Revenge of the Sith, and they borrowed a lot, and we know, again, from their own testimony as well as others, they do borrow a lot. They often copy and steal from other people. It seems really, really hard to believe, as they say, that they didn't have enough time or there were a lot of pressures to do what they did with Season 8. It just seems they got lazy. They just took something from George Lucas via Frank Herbert. And again, to be fair, George Martin is no different, right? Because he created these characters. And there's a lot of Dune in A Song of Ice and Fire. So presumably the book version will be a lot better. But again, in terms of the DNA, basically Frank Herbert already laid down the foundation. And when they had to do the show themselves, even though they already had Dune as well as Revenge of the Sith, they still had a lot of problems in finishing up the season. So I think there is quite a lot of basis for the parallel. And in both cases, yeah, the characters are just acting very erratically. Anakin just siding with the Sith, even though there's no guarantee they're going to help him. Why would he do that? Daenerys just kills all these people. She's known for killing innocent people. And King's Landing is a little ambiguous. I don't think you consider most people there innocent, even the very young people. But again, even though we know she would be willing to massacre people, she did do it for a reason. So I don't buy the theory that Daenerys is this altruist who is helping the slaves. She's doing it for a reason. She wants power. But again, before she got something out of it, whether political territory, allegiances, here she's just killing people. But for what purpose? She doesn't really explain. It seems implied she's going to continue killing off slave masters and monarchs, but to what end? Why? Why would the Dothraki continue to follow her? Or the Unsullied? It just felt very contrived. So I'm going to disagree with Anomaly. I do think there is a parallel, and it speaks badly to both of them. But despite my reputation for being very critical of George Lucas, I would have to say, not by much, but Revenge of the Sith is slightly more coherent than Season 8. It still has its problems. The rapidity with how Anakin changed was pretty shocking. But with Daenerys, there were some foreshadowing, but it happened much, much more quickly and was very, very shocking. So I do defend the prequels, but I think it's fine to concede certain parts of them definitely needed a lot more work. But with Season 8, that's even worse. And insofar as Benioff and Weiss were borrowing from Revenge of the Sith, they needed to do a lot better job.